My name is Nick Dressen. I am a senior studying business administration here at the David Eccles School of Business. I'm excited for this opportunity to be involved in today's Sales Innovation Summit and introduce our speaker, Gavin Van Wagoner. Gavin serves as the Assistant Athletics Director for Name, Image, and Likeness and Major Gifts for the University of Utah Athletics Department. He oversees the development and implementation of strategies to support student athletes in maximizing their personal brand and NIL opportunities. He also assists with the cultivation and solicitation of major gifts. Gavin brings unique perspectives and experiences to the team as former student athlete and entrepreneur. If we have time for a Q&A, please wait for me to hand the mic. That way we get audio with our video. Please join me in welcoming Gavin Van Wagoner.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm questioning all of your judgment. You had many other choices to go to another breakout, and you came to this one. Something's off with this crowd. I wouldn't have picked this one, but you know, all right. I'm glad you're here. My goal is hopefully to spark a couple of creative brand ideas for you, talking about name, image, and likeness. Who's heard about name, image, and likeness? Okay, so it's this new thing in athletics where student athletes, as of about 2.5 years ago, can monetize their brands, make money from using their name, image, and likeness, whether that's on a jersey, signing autographs, and believe it or not, 2.5 years ago, they couldn't do that. And so I help oversee that program here at the University of Utah. My office is just right up here at the Huntsman Center. We were at a late game last night, triple overtime. Guys played great. They played really hard. So I'm super excited to be here. I love the business school. I'm a business school graduate and feel fortunate to be here. I think probably the main reason that I'm here, if I had to guess why they picked me to come back today, I think it's probably this. I used my own name, image, and likeness here at the university about 10 years ago when I was in the executive MBA program. And look what they've built after I did that. We were ranked 30th. We're now, nationally, I think we're ranked 20th now. It's likely because of my banner ads using my name, image, and likeness that the school has grown. Isn't that right? Like, no. No. The brand probably was hurt by my attendance here, but I'm super fortunate that I was able to attend the school. I'm a big fan of the school. I did my undergrad here, and it's helped my career in so many ways. And what I'm hoping to do today is just share a couple of nuggets of how this school actually has helped me throughout my career journey, wherever I've stopped, and hopefully you can leverage that as well, take advantage of the great things that we're doing here at the University of Utah to advance your career. So currently, I'm in the role of Assistant Athletics Director for the athletics department here. I oversee NIL. So as you guys think about NIL, you probably think, all right, he gets to hang out with student athletes, he gets to walk around, he gets to go to autograph signings and games and all this, and yeah, you'd be right. I get to do a lot of that, which is super fun. So anyone know who Cam Rising is? It's kind of a big deal. Football, quarterback, 2 Rose Bowls. All right, even if you go to SUU, you probably know who Cam Rising is. It's okay, it's okay. So yeah, I get to, part of my day job, outside of fundraising and building awareness and trying to sell opportunities for people to get involved in NIL, I get to go do some of this fun stuff. So usually I'm the guy behind the police officer, walking in. So Cam did an autograph signing at the campus store in October, and I was there. It's pretty cool, and so some of my day job is like cool stuff like this. I get to walk in there, you get to see Cam give everyone 5, you get to see people light up, waiting in line for him to get autographs. That's really cool. That's a really fun part of this experience. And what I love about the NIL part of that is that's an NIL opportunity for Cam. That's, so he's selling his brand to get opportunities to go do autograph signings. It's a product sale opportunity for the campus store. They're leveraging the power of Cam's brand to get more people in the campus store for that event. It's also, Under Armour was part of that. They're leveraging the power of the pictures that are featured in that. You can see the background on that, Under Armour in there. And so, yeah, some of my day job is really, really fun. I love my job, and I love a lot of parts of it. This in particular is really fun, being able to hang out with student athletes, great women's basketball players, gymnasts, football players, men's basketball, and all of our sports. And I oversee that for NIL for all of our teams, and we try to help every student athlete maximize their NIL goals with what they want to do. But what I want to talk about, and I'm hoping to again, spark some creativity or some ideas for you guys. On sort of my brand, or what I thought was my brand, or how I think about, building a brand. So Scott Cutler talked a little bit about this, that there were newspapers back in the 1800s when I used to go to school here. Newspapers, they'd print them. So the Chronicle, everyone familiar with the Chronicle? All right, so back in the day, the Chronicle was, on little tables and stuff, and in the Union or wherever, and pick it up, read it. And I was 20-something, going to school here, sophomore, junior, something like that. And I'm like, I need a job. I got to find something. So I go, and this is actually, I don't think this is the exact paper. I just pulled this from the university library, digital archives. But it's from the same era, 2000. And I used to look at these, classified ads for jobs. And one day, I saw this ad for this job, and I was like, this is so awesome. And this is the actual ad for it. Brilliant entrepreneurial henchman wanted. And so I'm a 20-something, and I'm like, what are my skill sets? And I had no skills. I have no skills. I still don't have many skills. But at the time, I was like, all right, brilliant entrepreneur, that sounds awesome. That's what I want to be. Wanted. Internet business. So he's going through, he's listing what items should you have to apply for this job. And again, remember, this is 24 years ago. Internet was a thing, but it was barely past the dial-up stage, whatever. So wasn't quite as prominent. So internet business. I'm like, do I have that skill? No. Awesome writing skills? No. Average at best. HTML? No. I couldn't code anything. Apple computers? I liked them. So I guess I sort of qualified there, but I couldn't do it. I didn't know how to use them very well. Graphic design? No, but I liked it. Fly fishing? Yes. I was a fly fisherman, so I was fully qualified for this job. Digital video? No. Database programming? No. If 4 or more of these are in your skill set and you are a brilliant entrepreneur? No, I wasn't. Let's talk. So I saw this and I was like, and this is probably, you guys have probably experienced this too. You see a job listing, you're like, I want that so bad. I don't have that skill, this skill, this skill. I don't know what I'm going to do. And your inclination may be, all right, I'm not qualified for that. I don't have the skills. I don't have the brand to do that. And that's what I did for like 3 weeks. I was like, all right, clearly I don't have that. I fly fish and I like design, but I can't do that. So a couple weeks go by, and then I pick up another newspaper from the 1800s when we used to have them, and the ad's still there, and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and apply. So I click on the website. He had put a website out for it, and this is actual screenshots from the website, and I'm like, I'll just apply. And so maybe what I'm hoping again is through this is you realize there's skill sets you have, and how do you leverage those? How do you just go for it? And so for me, maybe my skill in that was like, all right, I'm confident enough that I can learn these, or I know I can do this. If given the chance, I can do this. And so that was sort of my brand. I was selling my passion or ability to this person that I'll jump in and I'll be excited and I'll go try to do this. And so I get to the website, it says stuff like this, challenging business problems, make a difference in the world, create some dough. And I got the job. And I think it was partly because, and it was a great job for college, I ended up working for that company for 17 years, helped build different products and services. I started in this guy's home office, sitting right next to him, doing everything from filing articles of organization with the state and creating businesses to washing his cars and his dog, and it was great. It was such a great learning experience. But as I look back, it was like, what if I'd waited longer? Or what if I was just like, I don't have those skills? And so part of the goal today is, as you think about your name, image, and likeness, think about, what am I passionate about? What do I like? What do I want to do? And then you got to have the reality of, maybe exactly what you want to do isn't really what you're good at. So think about what you really want to do, what you're passionate about, and what are you good at, and how can you infuse those? And maybe there is something great, and I think I'm in a job where it really infuses. I really love athletics. I love sort of the entertainment business, sort of this. And I think I'm good at a certain number of things that help me in this job, but I think that can be a brand that you've got to figure out, So anyway, that's kind of the goal there. So I'll show you just briefly how this kind of goes into my overall career journey as you, again, think through, what am I passionate about? What interests me? What would I love to do? And what am I good at? And how do you do those? So what I really loved growing up, and maybe thought I could be a professional baseball player one day. I loved baseball. One of my first jobs was a minor league bat boy, okay? Years ago, 1991, the Salt Lake Trappers were here. This is probably my first job. I'm right there, Sweet little hair coming out of the back of the hat there. It was great times. So I was the bat boy there. So my first sort of sales experience is, there was a handful of players in here that were really great, cool players that I wanted to be around. And so I had to kind of sell my brand. I want to hang out with you. I want to be the bat boy for you. I want to pick up your bat. I want to be the one you call on when you need something from your locker. And that was my brand, that I was going to do that. And it was athletics. So fast forward 30 plus years now. I'm working in athletics, something I'm super passionate about, and I'm able to do some of the business things that I'm really passionate about, and they've combined into sort of one career based on some of the brand attributes that I have. So that was a great experience. Bill Murray used to come into town with this team, Huey Lewis, all sorts of great things going on in the 90s. It was a lot of fun. So that sort of starts my career progression there, where I'm doing that. I work at a car wash. I become the entrepreneurial henchman, right? I want to be, but I was trying my best. I helped develop products and services, customer experiences, retail products, and then it just kind of builds. My brand, or what I was interested in and what I was good at, put me in a position of being able to move kind of the next thing. And that's what I think is important to remember is, what is your brand? Whether you're, and separate the brands, like I'm selling an iPhone or I'm selling this, that's a brand, and you're going to go sell a product. But if you're thinking about yourself, whether you're just trying to accelerate your career, think about how you can best position yourself for opportunities that give you options in your career to be able to do what you want to do. Okay? So what do these all have in common? Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. No, they're selling, right? It's because I did certain things in product development, I was able to do things in product marketing because I had branded myself, this is what I can do. Because I had built products, I was able to move that into creating great customer experiences. Because I knew how to sell different products, it helped me become a fundraiser at the University of Utah. Because I knew business and fundraising, it helped me to get into a position of where I can help our NIL program here at the University of Utah. So you can see all those, the common thread of your brand, throughout my journey is that's kind of what that looks like. So Seth Godin is a great marketer. I really like his work. He's got some great books. And I liked this comment at the top that selling is often misunderstood largely by people who would be a lot more comfortable merely inviting. And I love that word inviting in the sales context, where it's just like you're inviting opportunity, you're creating that, you're helping someone understand, be part of this. And whether that's selling a product, a service, or whether that's selling, again, your personal brand, you're inviting someone to take a risk, to be part of this. Here's how I can help you accelerate this company. Here's what I can do. And I liked that that type of thinking. So I was talking with my brother-in-law who is an adjunct professor at Stanford, and we were talking a little bit about NIL stuff and this and students and kind of your age, and he brought up a really good point that the best job for you 5 years from now probably doesn't exist, okay, today. And so and that got me thinking. I was like, yeah, like whatever you think, again, what's your passion, what's your interest, where do you want to be in 5 years, that specific role, technology changes so rapidly, everything changes so fast, it probably doesn't exist. So how can you position yourself, not to just, well, I'll worry about my career in 5 years, but how do you position yourself now so that when that perfect role, that opportunity, that chance to start a business, that chance to do that, that you're ready, your brand is ready, that you can go out from there. So I really like that, and putting a number to it's like, wow, and time goes pretty fast. 2029 will be here before you know it, but that's, 5 years from now, what are you doing? And for me, 5 years ago, I wasn't even in athletics. Major gift fundraising existed, but I wasn't in it. NIL did not exist even 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago at this point, 2021. So it's just, the environment changes, but put yourself in a space of opportunity to be ready for that. So quickly on NIL, and some of you probably know varying degrees of this. I know we've got an expert over here that's done some stuff in NIL, which is super cool. So, but in July 2021, the NCAA came out with some new interim guidance on NIL that allowed all student athletes to participate in benefiting from their name, image, and likeness. So it was no longer you would no longer jeopardize your eligibility if you participated in it. So that's signing a card, signing a poster, appearing, going somewhere and appearing for something. Any of you see the truck deal that happened with the University of Utah student athletes? That wouldn't have happened. They couldn't have done that years ago, and now they can. So there's some quick guidelines on it. There has to be a quid pro quo for the contract, so anything that a student athlete's paid for, there has to be some work done for that, right? So if I give you a jersey, or if I give you money to sign a jersey, they have to sign it, they have to appear with it, they have to do something like that. Inducement, schools, universities can't go out and say, if you come to the school, you're going to get X amount, so you can't induce, and then performance-based. So some examples of that, autographs, vehicles, commercials, social media posts, becoming an influencer, talking about a brand, lessons, camps, that sort of thing, podcasts. And it's been so cool to see our student athletes participate in so many of these different types of channels, build their personal brands, create opportunities for themselves. We're super fortunate to have really great partners and donors and fans that support NIL here on campus. Even we're in the GARF building here. The GARFs have been so supportive of NIL programs here at campus. And so it's just been really awesome. And one of the cool things about this is, to varying degrees, the student athletes are studying different things. But this has really allowed them to become sort of entrepreneurs really early on in their career and figure out contracts and taxes and all of these different things that are super exciting for student athletes. So from a department standpoint, we want to help all of our student athletes, 500, 600 student athletes. We want to help them leverage their brand. So we've created a program called Elevate You in partnership with the Eccles Business School, Lassonde, and then we've got some other partners that provide some technology and ability to engage. And so again, we're a resource for them to help train them, build their brands, help them find opportunities, and go out there and leverage their name, image, and likeness. So a couple of quick examples that are just kind of fun to see. CW Urban has been a great NIL supporter. They've come in and done a bunch with different teams. There's Red Rock Pharmacy, Under Armour, speaking engagements. So it's really cool to see student athletes get out there and learn how they can leverage the brand that they have, which is student athlete, to go out and create opportunities, which again gets back to what brand do you have that you can leverage to go out and build opportunities for yourself, whether that's getting a new job, starting a business, leverage that brand that you have and continually build it to create opportunities. I'll show you a great commercial America First did.
Sometimes when you use your card, dirty players try to force a financial fumble. And scammers, skimmers, thieves, and fraudsters know every trick in the book. But CardGuard from America First can keep you from getting blindsided. It gives you control of when, where, and how your cards can be used. With CardGuard on your team, every side is your strong side. And you can only get it at America First.
I got snacks.
So super cool opportunity for student athletes, for football players in this instance. They get paid to go do this commercial. They get to be around a big commercial shoot that they're doing. They get to know people from America First. America First gets to leverage the brand power of the university and the players, student athletes. And so all of this has this great brand lift for them, which has been really cool. A couple other examples of great supporters that have been around and student athletes who are doing deals and leveraging that and promoting their brands, which again just gets into new opportunities. If you've been to the campus store, you've probably seen some of these posters. These are other opportunities for fans to support, get involved, and then the players get to make money from these opportunities of them branding themselves. There's been some great shirts that have been built or that have been created and put out there. And so even within that, there's been an entirely new industry that's been created, that didn't exist. Now all of a sudden there's this new NIL industry. KUTV's done a show called Talkin' Utes, which is really awesome, where they're interviewing student athletes. And that's giving them opportunity to get out there, talk about their brand, talk about themselves, which again creates new opportunity that they're just building that brand to create new opportunities for themselves. Under Armour's a great partner of the University of Utah. They've been here and done a couple of really cool NIL opportunities with student athletes. I'll show you a couple of those. Let's see. So this was during the tournament run last year. They came in and gave shirt jerseys. They got their number, name on the back, player's name, and this was kind of the reveal of that, which was super cool. And then that's really cool to see during a game, you've got fans who are engaged wearing those jerseys in there, which is really fun to see that. They did an awesome event with women's soccer and the baseball team maybe it was a year or two ago. I'll show you just a quick video of that. Okay, so just really, really cool opportunities. And then here's a cool example of kind of a brand mashup here. So Bryson Barnes, great kid. He's transferred from the program, but he grew up in Milford, Utah, and he's had pigs. He's a pig farmer, right? And so a shirt company out there finds this shirt, or creates this shirt called Pig Farmer. It's got Bryson's name, image, and likeness on it. Bryson gets to go out and sell that. And then even Coach Witt was wearing it after a game in the fall, it's just really cool. And then again, the power of the brand. He's got the brand there. Others are talking about that brand, showing that brand, and everything's building based on what you're kind of doing. And again, that gets back to the best job for you 5 years from now probably doesn't exist today. NIL, again, didn't exist 5 years ago, and now this year is projected to be over $1 billion marketplace on what's happening. So all sorts of changes that happen within this. There are new marketplaces that came about because of NIL that are selling products, creating different e-commerce solutions based around NIL. Okay? Let me see. I want to show you. So kind of in my current role, I'm selling or inviting or creating opportunities for people to get involved in NIL. Businesses, fans, donors, telling them how this impacts the program and how to support it and how it helps elevate our university. And let's see, I'll show you guys just a couple So we'll have informational sessions with donors, fans. We'll get them in our football facility. We'll show why this is important, why this campaign matters. So we do a lot of that. That's sort of some of my day-to-day roles, is to build awareness about this, make sure the community knows. Collectives didn't exist years ago. Now they do. These are third-party groups that help build awareness around NIL. So that's been a new industry that's that's been created. I'll show you a cool video that the collective's done.
Hello? Is this thing even on? Now that I have your attention, get your phones out and scan this QR code to donate to the Crimson Collective. NIL is no longer our future, it's our now. You, our fans, hold Utah football's future in your hands. You hold the key to keeping our great players on our turf, getting future players here, and getting our team involved with local businesses and charities. It's a win-win-win. This is our town, our team. Donate now and go Utes.
Again, you're seeing all these other people helping promote and develop the brand of what's going on there. So quickly in closing, just wanted you to think about brands, right? So if you think of the word brand, you might think of some big companies, right? Like, what's that cool brand? And a couple of really random examples, right? Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Starbucks, Google, Louis Vuitton. These are big brands, right? That when you think of those brands, something probably comes to mind, right? Like if you're like Apple, oh, I think of technology and sleek design and this, and Microsoft this. And so there's corporate branding and there's product branding, which is super important. And maybe one day you'll be a product manager and you're talking about the brand and talking about that. But then again, think about how that can translate to your personal brand. If someone thinks about you, your name, image, and likeness, your brand, what do they think of? And if you're not happy with it, you got to try to figure out, what can I change? What can I do? Where do I want to be in 5 years from now? The University of Utah has a brand, right? You guys think, what do you guys think the brand of the University of Utah is? Throw it out. Mountains. School. Research. You love it. Inspire, innovate, serve, right? Like, this is what it is. We're inspiring, we're building, we're creating. We're at the Innovation Summit. Like, all of that builds onto that, and that's what people think of when they think of the University of Utah. So, again, challenge you guys to build your own NIL brands. It's not exactly the same as NIL for student athletes, but all of us have a brand, a personal brand that we're leveraging. So, again, I think the simple way to think about this is, what are you interested in? What's your passion? What do you love? What would you love to do all day long if you could? If you can do something in that field, great, that's awesome. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but there are some things that you're good at. And I know I'm a business school graduate. I know you're not supposed to end a sentence with a preposition, but what you're good at just sounds right? What are you good at? And leverage that and build upon that. Combine those interests and your talents and what you're good at into a career can be really, really rewarding. Again, remember, take some risks, take some stress. I had none of these qualifications, but my willingness to apply or show that I'm eager to learn, or that I can do this, or the silly confidence that I think I can do this. If this person just gives me a shot, I'll do it. I'll try to figure it out. Which I still have some of that, like, all right, I'll figure it out. I don't know anything about this, but I'll figure it out. I'll do it. Find that brand, identify it, and build opportunities upon that. And so that's just kind of in a nutshell, my journey. I hope that's sort of helpful. Got a couple minutes for questions, if there are any. Yes.
How would you say, if we're in an industry, say we're in a business, how do we build our own personal brand to be an expert, to do that? How's the best way to get started there, would you say?
To build your expertise in something?
or just to build credibility, how do we build
Yeah.
our personal brand so that we
Yeah.
are perceived, like when they think of the industry, they think of us?
Yeah, I love that. So I think you've got to immerse yourself in whatever it is you're trying to promote. You've got to study it, read everything you can about it, be the expert, be up on the latest news about it, and then comment about it, right? And if you're in a meeting, you're talking about it, not to show how much you know, but because you actually know it, people will gravitate toward you like, I think Matthew had a good point there. He knows this stuff, and then that builds. So I think with any industry that I've been in, I've bought books, I've learned about it, like to try to, from the most basic root level, like to try to fully understand. And then you're like, this isn't very good, this is good, and you've got to become that subject matter expert, whether that's a product or a company or whatever, and then you become sort of the broader advocate of that people are like, Matthew knows what he's talking about. We want Matthew in this meeting. We want Matthew to go out and pitch this. He knows what he's talking about. He's built this. He's proven that. And then your colleagues and professionals around you will be like, he's the person we can go to help us propel this forward. Does that help? Ish? Yeah. Okay. Got a couple minutes left. 30 seconds left, something like that. Nick's gonna kick us all out of here. Yeah. It's like, we've had enough of this.
All right, my question is more about NILs and athletes, especially at the University of Utah. So do you think it's in the near future it'll be getting out of hand and maybe like athletes try to unionize in something and become employees for the university? Would that change NILs in the future?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty in the space on how and lots of things going on at many different levels on how they think it will go. What I think about is just, I think it's awesome that student athletes now have this opportunity to participate in it, whether that's as the current market as it is now, or whether they are helping promote the university in a different way in exchange for compensation. What I'm super happy about, like that's above my pay grade on legislators and compliance that'll figure all that out, but what I'm passionate about is to get to this level, they've worked so hard, and it's awesome to see them be able to monetize. For most of them, that wasn't the intent of why they wanted to play at the collegiate level, but I love that they have the opportunity to do that because they have a brand where people want to work with them. And so for us, that's awesome. We want to get brands, companies, donors with all these student athletes because it's a win-win for both of them. And then all of that's just good for the university because it's building the brand of, we have great students or student athletes that are out in the community working with professionals, working with businesses, building all of these brands together. So it's a good question. Nick's gonna kick us out of here. You better be quick.
So I just had a quick question about the recruitment process when it comes to these athletes.
How much question about recruitment process? How much involvement do you have? And does it work where these athletes that are coming to this university or maybe in a bidding war with other universities, is the NIL deal already in place with these companies, or is that through the collective that they have a certain amount of money that they can offer?
Yeah, no, so really for us, the goal that we try to promote is just, and I think we do it well through our websites and that, is that there's opportunity here for NIL, opportunities. If you're coming to this institution and you're probably coming because you want to get wins and you love the coaches and the education and the facilities are great, and NIL's just a new component of that. And so what we want to do is just be able to create opportunities, whether that's that they know that they can see that action's happening, right? People are getting trucks, stuff's happening, people are appearing in commercials. And so if NIL is a big deal to someone coming to the university, that they'll know that those types of opportunities are out there. But it's a good question. Okay. All right, Nick.
All right. Thank you to Gavin for this great breakout session.
Thank you.